Welcome to the Ed Lishinsky channel, and today, I wanna talk about one of the silliest, weirdest projects I did for CoffeeZilla. So usually, it's some sort of a background or some magnificent 3D environment or infographic that I have to do. But this time, I was constructing a jail cell for a convicted file. Let's get into the matrix.
We recreated Epstein's prison in 3D to show you the top 5 lies hidden in the government's footage. And you can get the raw file on Patreon to explore.
And of course, by we
recreated Epstein's prison in.
he means me. But to be fair and balanced,
Epstein's prison in 3D.
Obviously this wouldn't have happened without Steven, because I would have no idea where to start and what to do. And how it actually got going.
3D to show you the top 5 lies hidden in the government's
And
footage.
the information I was given to do this.
Explore it yourself, and let's jump into it. Lie number 5, you're gonna get a video of the cell.
And you're gonna get the video of the cell.
I'm gonna get the video. By the way, video blew up, yeah, and it's even on the second CoffeeZilla channel. It's crazy. Okay.
And you're gonna see for yourself.
Kash Patel, the FBI director, told us that this footage was of Jeffrey Epstein's cell, but it's not. Let's fly over to where Epstein's cell actually is.
Guys, this is me. I'm flying over. It's me. Let's fly over to where it actually is. Okay, so one of the variations of the file is actually on Patreon, so you can go get it. But basically, what happened was, I don't remember what actual CoffeeZilla video we were working on at the time. It was something normal, like maybe the Valve gambling video or something else. But after that was finished, there was nothing to do actually for me. For sometimes, I mean, there are a few weeks here and there where I'm not extremely busy, right? So one day Steven says, yo, listen, these voidzilla videos about Epstein are actually, like, people are very interested in this. Can we recreate, and of course the video of Epstein's jail cell that looks like this. Yeah, this one. Oh my god, I have, okay. Was going viral. Obviously they released it at the time. But the problem was, and I of course realize you probably have seen this video, but without it, and without some other videos on the subject, people assumed this is his cell or this is his cell. No, it's actually somewhere there. Like it's kind of insane. And the documents that they released at the time weren't even like sufficient to conclude anything really. It was basically lie. It was very weird. So another graphic I had to do is this one, and it's all based around the cameras that are here and here. And in a way, I actually had to do kind of like, I don't know, is it forensics with like computer graphics? It's pretty weird. It's kind of like figuring out geometry of the space based on very limited information. So what I was actually given is this document, actually released by Biden administration, not the Trump, but whatever. And here we have a bunch of descriptions and this and that, whatever. But what was interesting is shots like this, right? So here the cells, but however, these are approximations. So what I found out by trying to base the layout here, that these are actually not 100% accurate. Somehow I had to get this shot. And I was sudden. Steven even said, like, okay, listen, if it's not possible, to interpret this shot out of what we have, if it's not possible to conclude and tell what we're actually seeing here based on any of the documents, we should just give up and do something else. Whatever. It doesn't really. Maybe there is no video here, you know. But I wasn't giving up. Here's the original source footage. And one of the first things I tried to do, so basically, yes, we have a layout that is an approximation. We don't have measurements for anything, nothing at all. We don't have measurements for these doors. We don't have measurements for the floors. We don't have distances here. It says that his cell is over here, and the camera is supposed to be here. So this looks comprehensive, but actually recreating this into a realistic location simply wasn't enough. So after kind of a weird, grueling weeks where I was trying to catch on to anything I was actually doing research. I don't know if any of it is here. I'll show you some scale matching like files that I was using, but basically I was trying to do research on how prisons are made. I was trying to find any documents, any PDF files, anything about how this specific New York City prison was constructed, anything to even get the ceiling height, which is, yes, on like usually it's what is it, like 6 feet or something. I have it here actually. It's yes, the door is 6 feet. Okay, so how did I end up getting this information? I was even looking through some what seems to be like an internal, like not necessarily for the public, like documentary about different types of prisons in America, and like how one of them is better than another, and how like prisoners are there are like 3 types of jails and with blind spots and whatever. I became a prison expert. It was actually kind of disturbing and sad to, to look at other people in prisons. It's not very fun. But eventually, on one of the pages, I didn't realize how I was missing this. It's kind of this. Yes, so this is the picture of the allegedly the knot and the rope he used to hang himself. But oh my god, we know where this is actually where the photo is taken, and it's taken somewhere. It's taken somewhere here. Yes, we know that it's here, and we know that it's taken here. And also, so the assumption was that these tiles are probably the same all over, everywhere here, or more or less the same in every picture. So the first thing I did to scale match let's see, this is probably the file. Listen, it's been a while since I opened these. Yes, I converted this into centimeters, and we have this grid. I aligned the grid to, because obviously CGI computer graphics, it's mostly like coded geometry and things of that nature. So if we know the size of this, we can know the size of this grid, and we know that this is one tile is this size, right? So then we copy this into another scale matching thing. Oh yeah, and here we utilize another CGI tool. So we load in an image. Let's just load one of these. And so I'm not gonna show a full demo, but basically using something called a pinhole method of estimating camera position, we know that if we align the perspective lines of it works better in the, I'll show you some finally realized ones. Methods over here, okay. It's here, scale matching here. So after aligning all that, for this picture, I got a camera and it's positioned in 3D space. And then the problem is, obviously, when you import a camera with FSPY, where if there is no point of reference for what we're trying to match, for example, we don't know how big the walls are, right? Approximately, we can kind of guesstimate, but like we don't know for sure. This is why it was important not only to match the geometry, because other things will align. Sometimes you can estimate things only based on relations to other things, but usually, especially when like there are people involved, can the person fit here or here, whatever, it's better to know the scale at least to some like margin of error. So yes, let's say I just like parent this camera to the empty. Basically, how when you import it, you don't know the scale. It can be like, it can be this big, it can be this big, tiny, like everything. Uh, you know, it's gonna look the same from this perspective, and then the walls just have to be big, and but then the walls don't make any sense anyway. So it was very important to find this unfortunate picture, these unfortunate pictures, to figure out the scale of everything. And it took an embarrassing amount of time to actually realize that for myself, and I tried a bunch of other things. But after that was figured out, things got a lot easier. And from that moment on, I was able to figure out the size. Obviously, we can model when you have a camera, you can kind of approximately model. But yeah, sooner or later, I got this with scale matching, and then I have one room. I know the scale of certain objects. I know the scale of this door. I know the scale of the ceiling, the floor height. Then I can take my time and strongly look at these pictures everywhere, and also guesstimate the size of other things. And then eventually, to get this angle, the problem with this one is that the walls here are all, first of all, it's the worst quality. Then there is also a fisheye effect. I don't even know what camera this was. I was trying to use all sorts of Google searching, internet searching, some like weird tools to like identify this one, this little box. I just assumed that they have these everywhere and this is like normal. Apparently no, there's like, I wasn't able to find, maybe there is some hidden treasure trove of images and information about these cameras in prisons or something. Maybe it's public data on some weird corner of the internet. I wasn't able to find it. I was hoping I'll find the exact match, and I will put this block here on the solved image, right? And I'll know the scale of things now, because I'll know an approximate scale of this. Nope, didn't find it. Only found the rope. Then we have our two solves. We have scale matching 1, scale matching 2. I had scale matching 3 at some point, but basically scale solve, whatever. I tried to also solve this. I have it somewhere. Anyway, I know the scale of this door. I know the scale of this door. I know approximate size of this light. I know also these don't match the drawing, by the way. A lot of the stuff in real life doesn't match what they have here. Steven said it's probably security risk to release too detailed of a work here for them. So, you know, whatever. So after my epic forensic CSI style investigation, okay, I was finally modeling all of this, and I had to match this angle. Now the problem was, oh yeah, so this started like this, doesn't quite match. It was incredibly annoying to work with, because usually my things are artistic. I can have the scale of anything however I want. Now I felt like an engineer because I had to match the exact size of things. Very annoying. Not even quite exact. Like there are obvious kind of issues here. It doesn't really matter for this purpose. Could spend more time on it, but you know. Yes, I had to match these stairs, so they were at least from this angle, so it all works. Because we wanted the shot of no, these things don't matter too much, right? Like how the stairs position, this and that. What really mattered, and what was like forensically investigated, like it is in the video here, we know that they are saying that someone would be visible where his head is here, and it was very obvious from the very beginning that it's not. Like, not from the. It was very confusing at first because what is even they releasing? Then, at some point, you realize what you're looking at. You do just one scale measure or something, and you're like, oh, okay. There's clearly a set of stairs there. Based on the documents available, we know that it's the case. The staircase. To the point where, while I was working on this and while I was investigating, someone else did it. In parallel, they beat us to it. I guess we really wanted to have this shot. Okay, we really wanted to, and I mean, in the end, it paid off with views. People were interested in the story, even if we weren't the first to show the actual path, how things are working. Anyway, we really wanted this shot where we recreated something. So I spent more time on placing everything how it should be based on documents and based also on how it looks in the frame. Another issue was was this camera, and I had to undistorted, projected, redistorted, put it back in. Wasn't quite perfect, but because I also did this
5 lies hidden in the government's
effect
footage. You can get the
of changing from one shot to another with shaders, because you didn't see them. We wanted to fade in originally, didn't quite look good. Also required so much matching in so much more for really no gain. So in the end I was like, let's just make a more artistic effect. Anyway, so that was the project. And in the end, I actually was, before the release, I was like, why are we even doing this? This is so annoying. Okay, yes, we figured out with epic CGI forensic expertise that I have. I was able to basically have a proof that, like, look, it's not possible. We have Maxwell somewhere in the scene here, showing off how in the animation. Where is it? Here we go.
conclusion. If we have Maxwell walking from the shoe entrance to Epstein's cell, we can't see him from
And yes, I made him walk like that sexily on purpose.
this camera angle, even though if we make the walls transparent, obviously
Like, there is a staircase here. And somehow this wasn't the point of this investigation. Anyway, from this corner to here, this wall blocks the view. How they show it in the document, the document is publicly available. You can look it up. It's called this investigation review report. Doesn't matter. Anyway, somewhere in the document they put it, draw camera, like somewhere here, not in the very corner, so it's very confusing. But then when you look at the picture, it's clearly in the corner.
Entrance here, the pathway from the entrance to the stairs is completely out of view.
So you see they did this as well. Not quite. This is incorrect. This is incorrect. Also, what we found, these are all also incorrect. This is based on the picture, I think. I was also initially doing this incorrectly as well. There are 4 cells and 4 doors. There are more than 4. I mean, it doesn't matter for our purposes, right? But whatever. If you look here, like, they show clearly, oh, there are 4 cells. But then there's a picture. This picture. And I was like, yeah, I was solving this picture for the scale. I remember, wait a minute, that's not 4 doors at all. That's no less than 5 doors. And obviously, this one looks like a cell door, and this one looks like a utility closet. And then we have more of these utility closets for each of these. So it's not even like, yeah, I'm not saying someone could, like, hide in each of these, but whatever. They didn't even show this. It's just so so approximate here for no reason, and I guess we had to figure it out. But it really goes to show how much you can figure out just from a few images, and a great smart attitude and your own noggin. Thank you for watching and subscribe. I'll try to make more videos about a bunch of other topics. Things are planned. Okay, so there will be one video about PewDiePie. There will be definitely a lot more videos breaking down CG for voidzilla stuff, and there will be a lot of AI hate videos. So if you were interested in that, there will be a lot of that as well. I will not promise that you're gonna learn anything smart here at all. So don't subscribe for that. Okay. Bye.